Hmm. Hey, let's make sure I'm here. Hi, everyone. How are you? Okay, so I'm here. Yay, I made it today. So we'll give everybody a few moments to get a hold of us and find us or me, and then we'll get started. So I hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. We're expecting a little rain later today, and that's always a blessing. Okay, I'm so happy to be here today. For those who don't know me, my name is Lisa Jo Davis, and you've come across Healing Activations with Lisa Jo Davis. Hi, Claire. Hi. Yes, please be sure to write your name. If you're new, just let me know that you're new here. I'd love to know what state or country you are watching this from, or even if you're watching during a replay, I would love to know that. And then when you leave me feedback, it also helps me do videos and make these recordings that are what is wanted or what is needed. It just helps me a whole lot. And I do read everything. So, yeah, okay. Well, I guess we can get started. Okay, thank you. So today, what we're going to be doing, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the topic today. And so alleviating fear within pain. And what does that mean? Well, basically, what I'm going to do is talk to you about the mindset of fear. And while in a state of physical pain, how that affects you, what may help you alleviate this discomfort, and how you can send healing to yourself. Hi, Erica, how are you? I said your name right. Yay for me, right? Okay, so, okay, so what I'm going to talk to you about. A year ago, some of you may remember that during our remodel here at the house, I got a little bit in a hurry because I was excited. We were doing the floor and everything. And I actually went down to pick up, a little fan to move it because we were getting ready to work. And there was a stool there, and my little dog, Odie, which isn't very big, he's a very small dog, he come flying through me between me, the fan, and the little stool that was there. And I tried to, I I lost my balance, and I tried to over correct myself, and I fell on the little three-legged stool, and it went sliding. It flipped over, went sliding on the material up against the wall, and my whole right side went slamming into the wall. Yeah. And so basically what happened? What happened was I dislocated my knee, and I broke my right leg basically in half. It wasn't separated. That was the lucky part of my injury. And what I will say is my husband and I have a really kind of a neat little tradition that we do, that whenever we do painting or flooring, we write on the walls and we write on the floors with, well, with the walls, it would be, in paint, and on the floor, on the concrete floor, we used a permanent marker. So what happened is exactly where I put that. I'm looking for something that's not in front of me. So exactly where I wrote down the seal of protection from Archangel Michael, and I'll show you what that looks like. That is the area that I actually landed on. So hopefully, let me move this. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, so you can, this is the seal of Archangel Michael, seal of protection. So what I did was I had, I wrote that down there to protect the house. And then we put little other things like this house is blessed, and we put all their names with the dates and everything. And then we just, put the floor over it. So that place where I slammed into the wall had Archangel Michael's seal of protection wrote down. It did protect me, but what I will say, it protected me from my leg actually being in two different places. There was a lot of stress that went along with that. I started off with urgent care. They couldn't help me. They sent me to emergency, went to emergency, and they're like, oh, we can't help you here. You need a specialist. And they did have specialists, but the way that I guess, hopefully you guys can hear me. The way that it broke, they didn't have a specialist that could come in and do the surgery. So I got transferred to another place. And a wonderful doctor and their team was there, and they were able to assist me and put me back together again. I went through a lot of things during that time. I had emergency surgery. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I came home. I had to use a wheelchair because I really had fallen on my whole left side. So my hips were hurting, my arms were hurting, my wrists were hurting. And so it wasn't a good deal. And so we got a wheelchair, rented a wheelchair, and I bought myself a walker and some of the other things that I needed to carry on, trying to live my life. Because it was not my intention to go to a rehab, which had been brought up as a possibility. And actually in my mind, I'm like, oh, heck no, I am not going. I do not want to go to a rehabilitation place because, one, that kind of scares and terrifies me. And another thing is I had 3 adults here at the house that could easily assist me if I needed it. So they had given me medication, and sometimes side effects will happen when you're taking pain medicine. And at first it was fine, but probably into the second and third week of taking this medication, I started having a lot of panic attacks. And it was literally a state of fear. And I know that's kind of funny coming from me, but people get fearful. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are or how religious you are. Things like this happens. And this is not something that usually happens to me where I have that fear. And so that was a really hard thing. I mean, I actually was, and I'm embarrassed to say, but I'll share. I was like, I had to have a light on because I didn't like being in the dark. And that's usually not even an issue for me. And so I brought I had my son bring in a night light for me and everything. But things that I would not normally fear were all coming up to the surface. Eventually, what happened was I had talked to my doctor, and we half the dose of the medication, and that was a lot better for me. I didn't have as many panic attacks. There's a lot of different things that can happen. I call it like bringing up the dark side of myself, because I was having nightmares, and I usually don't have nightmares. And again, this was a side effect of the medication. And when you have a lot of pain, your body tends to protect yourself, right? And so you may have that kind of out of body experience where you're like, when I work on other clients and stuff, and perhaps they're in a lot of pain, I will visually see their body, and then half of their body is like not attached. So their foot of their spirit is in their head. And so I have to kind of bring it back together. The other thing that you could do to help yourself bring yourself back together and being in your body is grounding. That would be another technique I'll talk in a few minutes about. Just this medication had me doing irrational thoughts, and those thoughts just kept coming in, like somebody opened up the floodgate to it. And it was just really hard, to do this. And of course, I was using, calling in Jesus and Mother Mary and Archangel Raphael and everybody else that I could pull in, my spiritual team and everything. And I was eventually able to kind of decide what was worth worrying about and what wasn't worrying about. As that pain medicine started to wear off, and I was doing, a half dose, probably about 4 or 5 months into it, I started taking a fourth of that dose. But like I said, when you have a lot of pain, you tend to go into that fearful type of mode, and you have all these irrational thoughts. So the main purpose is to get out of your head, so that you can have an overall adjustment. And I hope that makes sense to you. So how did I heal myself? One, I kept my doctor's appointments. I listened to my doctor, and I'm a very busy type of person. If there's something that needs to be done, I want to get it done and get it out of the way. And it was hard to just sit there and heal. And, this was part of my doctor's orders, is you need to keep your leg elevated, walk however you can, as much as you can. But, the main purpose is to allow that leg to finish healing. I was very lucky not to have a cast put on after the surgery. I am claustrophobic, so having a cast really, really would have not been really good for that mindset, right? And so I was very thankful that, I had no cast. I had bandages and everything, and they put a metal plate in to keep my two bones together. And I kept my regular appointments. But what I did at home was a few different things. And so I'll kind of share those with you. One of the things that you can do to help yourself heal is through prayer. You could ask your friends and your relatives to help pray for you, because everyone knows, or at least a lot of us know, that when you have 3 or more together praying for you, it's like a tsunami that happens. And so if you're lucky enough to have friends and family that could help pray for you, that would be amazing. If you have a church or a fellowship, ask them to help you. Don't be embarrassed. We all need prayers, and prayers absolutely heal. They carry a vibration that goes out to that person. And even though you're not able to see it, it really does truly work. The other thing is, you can ask that the pain be reduced, while you're going through all this. And how would you do that? The way that I did it, and I'll speak from my own experience, and I've shared this with many other people, is to just ask. Sometimes just asking for the pain to be reduced will help. And if you're in a state of, panic and extreme pain, this may not work for you. You just need to probably take your medication, but it doesn't hurt. So what I would do is, I would go to my heart space and do a little bit of clearing there, and doing a couple of deep breaths, and then maintaining a regular, normal breathing pattern. And from your heart space, you can ask for all sorts of things for yourself and even for other people. And what I would do is I would say, Jesus or Mother Mary. You could ask for your own religious person, or even your spiritual team, your guardian angels, your higher self, whatever you're comfortable saying, that would be perfectly fine. And I would ask Jesus, please come to me and reduce this pain. And it would reduce a tiny bit, enough that I could see that there was a little bit of a difference. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Can you do it again? Can you reduce the pain a little bit more? And so I was just trying to get to the point where I could tolerate it. It's not going to completely get rid of it, especially in the state that I was in. Now, that does work whenever I get headaches, and I've asked for the pain to be reduced and the discomfort to be reduced. It has, to the point of actually taking it away. But I do feel like when you're in a state of living in a lot of pain or a lot of stress, it's just good to ask. The other things that you could do is using the word now, N-O-W. To me, that means it's going to happen right now. And there is so much power in the word of now. So you could do your prayer and say, I'm asking this to be sent to me now. And when you say the word now, it has a purpose, it has a meaning, and it adds to your prayer that you are sending out for yourself or even for somebody else. Now, what I would do also would be to send healing to myself. And another way that you can do it is using your hands. You can, so of course it was my knee. So I would take both of my hands. I would do the process of going into my heart and making sure that, all of this is coming out of, love for myself. And I would place my hands like this around the area that needed to be healed. So in this case, it was my knee and my leg. And I started up on my knee because there was a lot of swelling. And I would actually send healing from my heart to my leg. I hope that makes sense, and to my knee. So you just feel guided to leave your hands. As long as you feel guided to do it, you'll know when you've done enough. You may actually feel tingles in your hands. You may actually feel or even see the energy that's flowing out of your hand. I don't, but I definitely get the tingles in my hands. My hands get really red and hot when I began sending out, these healings to myself or to other people. And sometimes people tend to hold, they're trying to absorb the pain out of their hands or out of their, for me, out of the knee. And sometimes your hand gets red. You don't want to actually absorb that out of your leg because it's going to be stuck in your hand. If you did that by mistake, or you're working on somebody else and your hands become red, you can just, go and rinse off your hands after it's done. It will help alleviate some of these energies that are focusing on your hands. You really don't want to you don't want to absorb somebody else's pain because you think that you're able to process that. The best thing to do is just send this healing to yourself, or even somebody else. And then, like I said, you would, say, Jesus, please. You could, for example, you could say, Jesus, please send healing to my right knee and my right leg now. And just allow that to come. You may feel the energy moving, and if that's the case, that gives you that confirmation that it's actually being done. So what I would like to do today is kind of give you a chance to do this for yourself, by kind of teaching you a little bit. So within your mind or even out loud, go ahead and give me permission, Lisa Jo, to assist you. Okay. So let's begin, okay? Go ahead and take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you will be releasing anything that may be stuck, stagnant, or blocked. And after you do that 3 times, you want to go back into your normal breathing pattern. All right, so now what we're going to do is a grounding technique. There's all different sorts of different ways that you can do grounding activities. One of the things that I like to do is imagining your foot, and it has like roots that are growing out of the bottom of your foot, and it just works its way down through the earth and the gravel down into the center of the earth. So the reason that you would do this is, one, if you're in a lot of pain, you don't want to have that, you're half in and half out of your body. Like I said, we tend to do that when we're in an extreme amount of pain. But to be able to heal yourself, you kind of want to keep yourself together. So by doing this, it tells your body that you're grounding to the earth and that you want to, receive these supportive energies from the earth. So we're going to breathe into relaxation. And with your intentions, again, you will release anything that is stuck, stagnant, or blocked as you breathe out. Now we're going to do a countdown from 10 to 1. And you're going to place both hands over your heart. And this will help you connect as well to your heart. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the reason that we do from 10 to 1 is that it puts that attention to your heart space. Now, what you'll be doing is asking your spiritual team for help. You can ask Jesus for help. You can ask Mother Mary or even Archangel Raphael or your spiritual leader that you would pull in to help you heal. So you're going to ask, for example, Mother Mary, to ask Mother Mary that the pain be reduced. Wait. And if it's reduced again, ask that they keep reducing it until it gets to a manageable level, or it's alleviated altogether. So now you're going to be sending healing to yourself. So if you haven't already decided who you're going to pull in, make that decision. Ask them to come forward. Mother Mary is coming forward for a lot of you today. At least that's what I'm hearing. Now place your hands where they are most needed. So it could be your arm. You know, obviously, if it's your arm, you can't put both hands there, right? So you would just, place your hand over the area that's affected. If it's, your jaw, you would go like this. If it's your head, because you have a headache, you could go like this. And then request your help now. So you would say, Mother Mary, please help me with this pain that I have within my head now. And you would leave your hands up there, evaluating and then when you feel like you've done enough, you'll know. You just remove your hands. And then if you feel like you need to ask again, you could do that again. So remember to call in your spiritual team, your higher self, any of your religious leaders that could help you, the archangels. And if you forget Archangel Raphael's name, you can go, I need that archangel that helps heal. And so I refer to Archangel Raphael as the archangel doctor myself. So also, one of the things that you could do to help is a process that you would do when you're ready to go to bed. So before falling asleep, after your prayers, if you pray, or if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But before falling asleep, you would ask, again, your religious leaders, your spiritual team. You could ask Jesus, Mother Mary, or Archangel Raphael to heal you while you're sleeping. And you can ask them to guide you to the healing temple. And there are also who we call the healers that are at the healing temple that can assist you as well. So I do this quite a bit, where I go to sleep and ask to be taken to the healing table, and your body actually rests right while you're sleeping, but your soul and your spirit goes to other places and learns or does what it needs to do. So why not give it a task to do? Why not imagine or ask that yourself go to this healing temple? Now, I did everything that I have told you I have done on myself. And I'm so happy to share this with you. When I was in, I would go in and see the doctor ever so often, and he was really good about telling me my process and my progress of how I was doing. And it was really interesting because he was telling me people that have went through what you have went through usually don't heal this fast. And he goes, I can't believe all the healing that's taking place. And this was like around the third month. And, I'd go in and see him once a month for the first, I think, 7 months that I was done. And so he was just really happy. And so I said, prayer really works. It really helps us a lot. And he agreed. And, I said, I'm just listening to what you said. And I have a tendency of wanting to walk really fast. So my husband was really good about reminding me to kind of not walk fast and to make every step with, you really want to do every step with balance, because the one thing you don't want to do is fall again. On my 7th month, my doctor said I didn't need to come back, and that he was so proud of me and the healing that has taken place, that I just kind of need to be careful for the next few months. It would take a full year for usually the complete healing of, that broken bone. And so, it was actually a year at the end of March. So I'm still have a little bit of a limp, but I do walk without assistance. I don't use a wheelchair anymore. I'm not using a walker anymore, and I no longer am using a cane. I still get, a little bit sidetracked of being a little bit of off balance, but I think that's because I'm walking too fast. And so I'm still learning because I still have a little bit of limp. And so I'm trying to balance myself out and basically reteach myself to walk without, doing the limp. So I think that that's about it. Always thank the ones that have come forward to help you in your healing. So your spiritual team, Mother Mary, Jesus, Archangel Raphael, or any of your other spiritual advisors or your spiritual or religious leaders that you would call in, always, always tell them thank you for what they do for you. Because it is a dual, what's the word I'm looking? It is a dual partnership. So what you do and what you ask to be done will definitely aid you into a recovery a lot faster. And I hope all of this has made sense to you. And everything. And I just want to check and see if anybody had any questions. All right. So if you would like to work with me, you can find me and my links at lisajodavis.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Healing Light with Lisa Jo. And I also am on YouTube, and you can find all the links underneath here. And that would be Healing Light with Lisa Jo. You can subscribe free and get a notification whenever there's a new video or recording that comes up. It's a great way of being able to go do what you want to do for the weekend and still have your me time when it's most appropriate for you. I want to thank you for coming in today and sharing your day with me. I see many of you have been responding. I apologize if I don't get to you right away, but I will read each and every one of your messages. I wish that you have a lovely day today, a weekend into this beautiful month of June. And thank you for taking the time again to see me and share your day with me. I love you, and you all take care. Okay, bye.